Loud and clear. There we go. That looks like a janky Godzilla, I think. I'm not really sure. Very nice. All right, I think we're good to go, dude.
All right. Let me share the YouTube link and then we'll get this thing started.
Okay. Already one small hiccup you mentioned. The
Oh,
POAP Mafia has enacted some new policies. I guess that we didn't receive the memo or something. I don't know, but no
yes.
worries. We got a workaround.
Yeah, we got to work around. So I guess what happened was it has taken significantly longer to issue these popes. So what we're going to do today for the Popeaholics out there, we're going to send a link to a Google form. Just drop in your ETH address, and then we'll get those manually distributed to you guys after the call. So sorry about that. I know you guys are major collectors of these popes, so we'll make sure we get this kind of sorted. So yeah, I need to be more involved in that Pope community because it's getting a little wonky. That's for sure.
For good reason, most likely. The same reason why our shit's a little wonky, right? This is we're trying to resist cartel activities.
That's true. Speaking,
Old news. We, and yeah, they're the actual source. So I'm sure they're just as interested as we are to, mitigate cartel influence on their ecosystem. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later on the call, but in the same breath, speaking of cartel activities, good old Ronin got compromised for a cool 600 million and change.
Yeah.
No big deal, right, I-Man?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
that is a big deal, actually.
It's
a learning lesson for everybody in the space. Like, there's a lot of angles you could take about it. Everybody, when you're building a project, everybody has their own like ideals, like as far as like speed of delivery of a product or any kind of feature or whatever. But in this case, speed doesn't necessarily always equal like quality, I guess, or quality assurance, So there's got to be like much more precaution, I think, across the board for all the whole space, like to mature a bit, so these things don't happen as frequently, to make it a little less daunting, you know what I mean, to the masses. Like, man, I don't want to get my funds hacked or siphoned, from these exploiters and stuff. So yeah, man.
So yeah, $612 million was compromised, and this is definitely unfortunate, just because I don't know, if it feels like it sets back the community, and like from the wider audience, there's less trust in all these smart contracts and stuff. But I think this is part of the course. Things are going to get compromised. People will fix these, and then you'll have a more robust system. So, but like you were saying, this is a good kind of like, like an announcement or PSA that, anytime you have a token and there's a value to that token, people will figure out how to, compromise your systems, right? In one way, shape, or another. So,
it even happens in the traditional tech and finance space. Like, nobody's impervious to these kind of attacks. That it happens. But like you said, there are opportunities to strengthen your databases, whatever it is on the back end that's like supporting all this stuff.
That's right.
That's what it is. And like, no network has ever been safe from it. I think Solana's been, mega boned in the past.
Yeah.
Even Ethereum had their ginormous hacks. I think you said Bitcoin did it like in their early days.
Yeah, so the first couple of weeks of live Bitcoin action, it got compromised.
Exactly. Yes. Like, they don't like to talk about that, but it happened.
Yeah.
Technically Bitcoin has been exploited in the past, but these are things that secure the network in the long run. So yeah, I guess the PSA is like, be cautious, but don't be, overly like skeptical to the point where like you just like turn off the whole damn thing. Like,
for sure.
Yeah. That's all it is.
All right, guys. So we have a couple of things to talk about. So that was a little weird intro, but just for those of you who watch the podcast, we're going to be kind of bringing that back up, like resuscitating that thing. We're just trying to get into the groove of things, because a lot of stuff is going to be happening here, like in the next couple of weeks. All good stuff. And we're trying to get a flow for everything, and we're trying to, bring on some people and get some hands on deck and everything. So a lot of changes are happening, a lot of improvements. So bear with us. I mean, we're going to be here every single week. Speaking of being here every single week, we want to be here more often every single week, right? With the MetaZone calls, the Rovi calls, and then, start doing live conversations with other project leads, just to bring them into the community and like pick their brain a little bit. Hopefully we can get Miles in here and talk to this guy, the Giga Chad, as you call him, my man.
Total Chad. He definitely has total Chad energy for sure. Also, the Avagachi team. Apparently they're reaching out to us too, right?
Yeah, Avagachi wants us to, I don't know, like talk about what they're doing, and maybe we can have them come on as well. Avagachi's cool. They're part of originally they were part of the Aave team, right?
I don't know necessarily they're part of Aave, but I mean they obviously leverage the IP of Aave very strongly. I mean, they got their ins. Stani's probably like close in with that project.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I always liked what Avagachi was trying to pull off. They were figuring out a way to just incorporate more yield mechanics into NFTs, which was at the time, almost 2 years ago, was like unheard of.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
This is before PFP madness, before like even play to earn took off, right? But now they're kind of like segueing more into like the space that we're in, right? Like a play to earn metaverse type ecosystem.
Yeah, not only that. Yeah, so they've, like you said, 2 years ago, this was they were pioneering something new. And all of a sudden, they're going to start testing like the delegation feature to their play to earn mechanics. And
so they've this is another one of those instances, right, where like it's just more confirmation, like the of the wavelengths of like what's going on out there in the space, like it's confirmation that what it is we're building is. Dude, it's in line with what it is like all the other projects eventually going to end up becoming as well. 100%. Like you're already seeing it with the Bored Apes. Now we're seeing it with Avagachi. So for sure, like metaverse play to earn is going to be, I think, like the pinnacle of like everything at some point, right?
Well, I'll correct you a little bit on that. I think play to earn is definitely going to take over a little bit, but I think metaverse play to earn is going to be.
That's what I said, dude.
What, metaverse play to earn?
That's what I said, dude. Chat, back me up, dude. I swear I said metaverse.
What did Iman say? Was it metaverse play to earn or just play to earn in general?
I'm pretty sure I said metaverse play to earn because I mean play to earn is already
dude, we gotta pick sides.
It's in the past. Don't worry, Chad. It's fine.
No, you gotta pick sides, dude. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I need Iman is right, dude. We got one for Iman. Civil War. That's good.
Yeah, sometimes these chats could get heated, but no, I mean, yeah. So we're both right, but we saw it with the Bored Apes. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Slowly there's a realization, and we've been saying this forever. It's like the metaverse is the application layer for like the whole blockchain / NFT ecosystem. It is. It might not seem like it yet. And we've been saying this too. It's just not obvious when you like jump into the metaverse. It's just not existent yet. But if you understand the metaverse as deeply as we do, the potential is like it's there. Like you could breathe it in every time you're walking through this these metaverse virtual spaces. Like there's no more. Just the potential is just you confront it on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean. Talk about taking your community, like let's say example a PFP project, and then adding this whole 3D world to it. I mean the opportunities are endless at that point. All right, so I got some breaking news. We got the Popes in, dude. Like just
the egg, really?
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
All right, so you guys bear with me.
There's a clap button, dude. Go ahead and
clap it up for this. The Popes. Really? We're clapping at the Popes. Man, this is cartel activity, dude.
But it's like they came through in the clutch, dude. They deserve a clap. What do you mean?
All right, yeah. So okay, bear with me. I'm gonna set this thing up. It's not gonna take very long. It's just gonna take me a few minutes to drag and drop this damn file. So in the meantime, Iman, do you want to go over this Rovi charging hanger that we got submitted last couple of days?
You have it pulled up?
I do not, man. But just talk about it, because most importantly, it's more about like the IP and stuff. That's the more interesting part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
I guess it's an interesting, because like we're restarting the submission process for MetaZone. I mean, the submissions have been like a granular part of the MetaZone ecosystem since the beginning, right? Like you create content, you submit it to the platform, it gets approved and listed, right? But like for a while, that whole process has been kind of limited as far as like bandwidth to like oversee all those operations. So we're reactivating that whole thing. And like one of the first submissions we've seen is a Rovi submission, not necessarily a Rovi, like we didn't create it. It's a community contribution. Somebody from the community decided, there's all these assets. We're rolling out these metas, right? For our game, play to earn ecosystem. But that doesn't necessarily mean there's more content that's not left to be created, right? There's content that could be made to house these assets within it. So that's what somebody built. They built what's called, I think it's a charging hanger, a Rovi charging hanger, right? So we saw that, for one, it's got Rovi in its name, right? So we've always had this idea, like as a platform, to allow creators to leverage the IP of like third parties, right? In our case, we are the first party creators of the Rovi, verse. And we're perfectly cool with the community, creating their own content. The platform has to enable this like these splits and like these IP sharing abilities across the board, right? Not just for Rovi, but for any creator. Let's say like somebody wanted to create an Ethermon building, which they have in the past.
Right.
People have made Ethermon barnyards for you to deploy Ethermon garden beds within. So now, I guess from here on out, part of the submission process is if you're leveraging the IP of a third-party creator, you've got to split something with like the original IP owner. So I think right now we're leaning towards like a 10% split for the original IP creator, so that there's no conflict in the future with that, right? So it's exciting to see. Like it's kind of like happening without us like initiating it, right? Like somebody just decided on their own to just create content for the Roviverse, right? So,
and ultimately, I mean, this kind of confirms our thesis that we can't really build everything ourselves, and so we need to leverage and have the community contribute. And there's got to be incentive mechanisms for your community to contribute, because that's the whole point of everything, especially making things sustainable in the metaverse. It's quite the important kind of component to building out content, right? Yeah. So yeah, we got the submission. Now there's going to be a split between, we talked about it in the past before with this IP kind of feature on the platform. And so basically you can leverage IP. Say, for example, we do a deal with like Disney, and Disney will have to understand how the metaverse works, right? So they'll have to agree to this, but you could build, upon Disney's IP and then leverage that IP to generate some revenue. And so the benefit to Disney is that they don't have to build everything, right? So, but, obviously Disney is an extreme example of this, but nonetheless, I think it's important to kind of convey. So that's the other thing about the metaverse. Like if you guys could build skills like 3D modeling, animation, whatever it is, it's going to become extremely useful, because as you can see what's going on with Bored Apes and other PFP projects, everybody's talking about being in the metaverse or building their own metaverse, blah, blah, blah. They all need these skills. So I think this is kind of like the new skill set for the future. Like it's kind of like in the past 30 years, in general, people know how to use Photoshop to a certain degree, right? They know how to remove backgrounds, color changes. They know how to use Photoshop. I think in the near future is going to be like 3D modeling and animation, and that's going to be like a basic skill. So yeah, it's going to be important for the community to kind of level up on skills and then contribute. All right.
Yeah, so that's all it is. It's just another moment for us, like of appreciation, seeing what it is we assume would happen actually happening, for one, and then reinforcement for why we need to build these additional features. Like now it was like, we need to consider these splits more seriously, like in the future, right? Like, and it's more changes to the revamp system for all metas, right? Like if your intention as a creator is to leverage the IP or the branding of something you'd have no hand in creating, but you still want to be a part of that ecosystem and like contribute to it.
Mm-hmm.
You should have all the rights to do so. But of course, you know, there's got to be a collaborative aspect to it where all parties involved are, the incentives are in line. That's literally the nature of the whole platform. It's all about incentive alignment, right? So there's never any conflict.
Yeah.
It's just one big happy family, dude, across the board. Like that should be the MetaZone slogan.
Yeah.
Just like we're one big happy family, dude.
Like no conflicts, MetaZone.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wish we could show it to you guys, but we'll probably see it. We're gonna have meta drops at some point very soon. So just tune into that, the meta drop calendar. You want to see all the new content that's going to be being deployed on the platform.
So Bob Lorian was saying that there was a Bankless podcast with someone from Disney. I like to hear that. I'm going to try to find it because I'm curious as to what they think about, you know, everything blockchain. Because I know, man, these big fish, they're about to drop in the water, dude.
Oh, for sure.
Eventually,
I mean, they know there's so much money being thrown into the metaverse, you know, and they know like they have so much money themselves. Like it would make no sense for them not to at least like, you know, hedge against themselves, like by you know, placing some sort of presence in the metaverse. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And that's going to happen to every corporation in existence. Like you got to have at least like just like now all corporations are starting to figure out like we should have like a Bitcoin reserve in our treasury.
Yeah.
We need to hedge in the event like we're all wrong. And like, yeah, the crypto finance is actually the future. And like traditional finance collapses. Like we need that hedge in place. Right. So
that's
like,
true. That's true.
All these corporations, they have big brains at the boardroom table. Right. So hopefully they're all thinking along those same lines. And there it is,
dude. So what's more valuable than NFTs? Disney. Okay. So then Maximus was saying that Disney already has NFTs via Vive or Vivi. So I remember visiting that website and like that world, and they had a bunch of DC content, but I guess now they have Marvel, or not Marvel, but Disney, same thing.
Disney owns Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so of course, Vive or Ecomi, right? It's the same ecosystem.
Oh, there it is.
Same platform.
Okay.
Very nice. So yeah, let's watch that, and we'll react next week.
Yeah,
with
sure.
what we found.
All right. So hey, what's going on, Juxon? Glad you're joining us. So I just saw the VV the other day. It looked interesting. They did a Deadpool comic release. Oh shit, that's pretty cool. Not every boomer. Love the picture frame on the top of the MetaZone tower, also functioning as a zoom screen. Yeah, so that's another thing that we're going to be doing again. I mean, we used to do this a lot before. Then we kind of fell off the horse on this one, but we're going to be having these conversations in Decentraland consistently. And so you could either join us here on Discord or join us like in world, and you can just listen to us in world if you want. So yeah, we're going to be spinning that up pretty soon. I know we've said that the last couple of weeks, but it's just too many moving parts at the moment that we got to like, everything's like, you know, glue and gum right now at the moment, but we're going to get it together. Okay, so we're here to talk about Rovi's and hologram. So there's a snapshot that occurred, I believe, last night. Oscar submitted that like at 1:30 in the morning Central Time. So yeah, we were all together, kind of working, and so the snapshot's there. The airdrop is going to happen today, I believe, and you'll be able to at least see this as an NFT, and then see it on your MetaZone account. And I think we're going to initiate the guild, the Testers Guild here, to start testing this out here in the next week or so. And people who are going to be testing this will be able to see their unique Rovi in Decentraland. So a lot of stuff was going to be happening here in the next 7 days or so. So congrats.
Yeah, initially the Rovi, you'll see it's going to be like a static Rovi, right? There won't be much like functionality to it yet, or like movement. But step one is making sure everybody who essentially interacts with the hologram, meaning like you're present in like a deployed hologram location, like you're going to see your own Rovi deployed. So that's phase one. So yeah, Oscar, well, we're definitely limiting it to the Tester Guild. So if you guys, you know, are part of that, you should probably already know. I think roughly there's 60 of you guys.
70.
So,
yeah.
70?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, man, if you guys are in the Testers Guild, we're gonna definitely be needing your help over the next few days, coming days. So yeah, we'll be active in the Rovi Tester Guild channel, which I think is exclusive to you guys as well. So yeah, definitely peek your head in there from time to time. We'll be, putting out announcements and stuff for contribution from you guys, just so we could test out everything, make sure it works, and then move on to the next phase where we get the Rovies much more lively, right? We've been having discussions. I don't know if you OG guys remember, like if you were around in the very, very, very early calls where we talked about how Rovies are going to have their own unique voices to them.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
So we had this conversation last night. We're going to try and get that like activated by next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
So it's going to be unique in the sense that it's going to be dependent on your AI codex of your Rovi. It's going to be what determines like the sound of your Rovi.
Yeah.
Right. So each one will be different.
Yeah. So whenever you interact with it, you'll hear its unique little voice, a little sound effect to it. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. And if you wanted a sneak peek of what that could sound like, if you go to the Rovi.ai website, you scroll all the way down to the team page. There's 3 Rovies down there. It's us. You click on each one, or you hover your mouse over each one. They each make a different sound. Right. So it's just like an idea of. I think they put out like 2-syllable phrases.
Yeah.
Syllable meaning like 2 beats, like that's 2 syllables. So I think at max we're gonna try and aim for, because there's 5 numbers in the AI codex, so it'll be like a 5-syllable max phrase per Rovi, something like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're always gonna say the same thing, right? It's just that's the max, speaking potential of a Rovi.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting, man. Like to me, this is very cool. Like I can't wait to see that for sure. So we'll be testing that as well. I think Oscar said something about whenever we do get animations and like movement for the Rovies figured out, it's going to be the wheeled Rovies will be first, just because it's like the easiest to animate.
Yeah.
And then after that, the walking Rovies will come after. So yeah, we're like definitely in a testing phase for this hologram to get Rovies deployable and functional and
so
bring it to life, basically.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of components to this particular hologram meta, because it's technically, I want to say, on the more complicated end of like a meta, because each hologram meta is going to be a WebSocket server. And the reason why we want to do that is because we want everybody to be able to see their own unique Rovi, right? So having that shared experience. So yeah, it's going to be a WebSocket server that's going to be tested with the Testers Guild, and then once it's completely tested and like all the kinks are out, then we'll be able to release that to everyone else. So yeah, we're going to be activating the Testers Guild, and yeah, you'll be able to see what this thing is going to kind of look like before everyone else. So yeah, this is kind of exciting. This is finally getting to the core of this game, and yeah, so this is going to be happening next week or so. All right, so hologram meta drop today. Testers Guild will begin testing deployments next week. So I think the following week, after deployments are tested, the following week we're going to start testing some animations. So speaking of the animations, I think the way that kind of Decentraland sort of influenced the design of how we implemented these unique Rovies into Decentraland. And so as a result, we have to animate them in a different way, right? You can't use Blender to animate these GLBs. You can't do it. Kind of like with Blender, the way you would animate is like you basically create an armature, and then you kind of merge that armature with the actual 3D model, and then you can kind of move the bones around. And that's a pretty standard way to animate, but because of Decentraland and all the limitations, we had to design our GLBs a little bit differently. And so we can't really use that process. So we have to, I think, pretty much make our own animation tool, which sounds like a lot, but it's a lot less complicated than it sounds. Where potentially we're going to have the community contribute to these animations as well via a UI. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, we're going to start animating, kind of working out those kinks, and then creating a UI for you guys to start messing around with the animations. So imagine the community being able to contribute to the animations. We're going to be seeing some weird movements from these guys.
Yeah, I can't imagine that, and I'm looking forward to that. Again, just because it aligns with everything we've always been saying. You guys will outproduce us creatively every day, all day. So
Yeah.
we've
So
got to empower that at all
um
costs. You know what I mean?
I see Super Tyler, welcome. So I remembered Super Tyler had some questions in the Rovi chat here. Where was it? Let's see, Rovi discussion. So he asked when Rovi Hollow today we'll be able to put more than one on a land. That's a good question for Corv. I think originally we wanted to do more than one hologram meta on land, which you can, the more that you add to your land, the more Rovies you can see. I think that's still the plan, but Oscar can confirm there. Will the Rovi displayed be visible to all users simultaneously? Yes, they will, because of WebSocket server tech. Will the Rovi displayed be a generic Rovi or a specific number Rovi, and how does this work? Yeah, so that's kind of that was the original challenge, but yeah, you're going to be able to see your unique Rovi in Decentraland for sure. Okay, hopefully that covers all your questions, Super Tyler. All right, let me go back to the chat here. Cool. All right, so continuing on, let's issue the Pope. Yeah, we're 30 minutes in. Let's do that. All right, so same process as before at MetaZone bot. And then the password is hologram. So yeah, just send a DM to the MetaZone bot, the password hologram, go through the verification process, and let us know everything worked.
All right. Right on, dude. This is another good POAP, dude. Airdrop tonight. Is that right? It definitely should come today. Yeah, we'll definitely announce as soon as it goes down, dude. So I know everybody's waiting for their holograms. Like you said, this is a foundational piece. I mean, they're all foundational, but this is like really foundational in the sense like this is what brings Rovies to life in, for now, Decentraland, but just in the metaverse as a whole. Okay, Oscar just said something.
Okay, we might do stack hologram meta on a land to see more than one, or we could do upgrade the hologram meta to see more than one. Could be you could spend the Gears token to upgrade it. Yeah, that's interesting. There will need to be some sort of incentive to upgrade it, because I mean, if you have Gears, would you spend it to see more Rovies on your land, or it could create a better experience, more attractive to players, and therefore they want to play there. Grinchford got the Pope. Excellent. Patrick, we got Niao. Hopefully
I like this one.
Yeah.
This is the one I like. I never pulled a Rovi with this kind of like look, but yeah, I would definitely like to have one for sure.
Yeah. I was designing this Pope last night, and Iron Man looked over, and he said that this Rovi had the crack eyes.
It definitely does, and they like fit in perfectly with his little hammerhead head.
Yeah,
like it's just like the perfect crack eye head. But I love it, dude. It just looks cool. I don't know, man. Like we were talking, we talk about this when we get together and we discuss Rovies and stuff.
Yeah,
we definitely want like the Rovi like brand and feel and the soul of the game and the brand as a whole to be, borderline cute. Or actually cute as fuck, like, because we want to reach as much of a mass audience as possible, right? And cute is good. Like it's very attractive. It's the most delimiting as far as like attractiveness for a brand.
Yeah,
but also like sometimes they're a little disturbing, like the whole brain in a vat thing, and then like the crack eyes and stuff like that. That to me is what adds like the unique touch that like not everybody has, right? Like when it comes to creating a brand identity for like their game universe or whatever.
Right.
It reminds me a lot. I don't know if you remember that cartoon from like maybe it's like the late 90s or early 2000s. Remember the monsters? There's like a monster. He had like these like weird ass fucking things sticking out of his head, but his eyeballs were on there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that cartoon.
Yeah.
Real Monsters. Thank you, Nev. Yeah, it's from Nickelodeon.
Oh,
on
dang.
Nick.
Dang, look at
It
that.
reminds me of that. Like we kind of have a similar like vibe, you know, like it's cute and adorable, but it's also kind of like weird and creepy and like
Yeah.
sometimes off-putting depending on how on how your Rovi looks. You know, sometimes you get like a really weird combination. It's like, oof, that thing looks. There you go, dude.
This
Look
is
at
it.
that. That looks like our Rovi, but like in robot form. That's like a flesh Rovi.
Yeah.
See, he's got crack eyes.
Yeah, I remember this. I don't remember what the show was about though. Like I've seen it, I just don't.
Flesh Rovi.
Dang,
You don't
that's
remember?
trippy,
It's a
dude.
good cartoon, man. It's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Dang.
But yeah, like that's what you know. I always like to be, you know, original in concept. So I think this show was very original in concept. That's why I liked it so much as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna head with the Rovi brand.
Dude, this looks like a PFP project, dude.
For real, 100%.
Dang, this is like 30
I
years
look like
ago.
a mutant board ape,
Yeah, it does.
basically. You know, that's dope, dude.
All right. Well, I didn't think we'd
Yeah.
go on to a flashback, but here we are.
But speaking of that, yeah, I guess another thing to like whenever you guys are testing these holograms and just, you know, finally like, you know, meeting your Rovies in the metaverse, you know, get a feel like when you're standing next to yours, should it be bigger? Should it be smaller? Because we talk about that too. Like, what's the
That's
ideal
right.
size of like a deployable Rovi?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Will kind of like thinks it should be a little bit bigger. I think like around hip level is ideal. So we got to find that perfect Goldilocks zone. You know what I mean?
Apparently, the bigger they are, the less cute they are. So I don't know. I disagree.
Yeah, we need to come to a consensus as like a community, like what it is we want to see, or like what feeling we want to get from our Rovies whenever we're with them in the metaverse. You know what I mean? Like that's everything.
I want a bodyguard, dude.
You want like a beast bot behind
Yeah,
you,
dude.
bigger than you. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, like Johnny Five, dude. That used to be one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I thought that thing
Yeah,
was real, man. You seen that movie, right, Johnny Five?
I think so. It was like
Yeah.
a
It looks.
something about like some robot in the dump or something like that. That's all I remembered. Damn it.
No, it was like the first AI like type of robot. Like you could talk to it and you could reason with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
short
I was like
circuit.
made in the 80s, I bet, or early 90s. So
That's what it's called, Juxon Short Circuit. Yeah, it was like late '80s, something like that. 88, 89, something like that.
that's how tall a Roby should be. Okay, dude, pull up Johnny Five. Let's
Yeah, let's
see.
see. Let's see.
Take a look. I was born 81. I'm old. You're good, dude. You just means you're seasoned.
Yeah, dude. Let's see. Do we have a full body shot? Like next to a human? Here we go.
Yeah, I think this is more along the lines of what I'm expecting too. Like, uh, hold on. Yeah, thank you, Meow Meow. I agree, dude. Like, no taller than DCL waist level.
Hmm.
So far,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I kind of
Make your
imagine these guys being short as well or small, but yeah. It'd be cool if you can like adjust the height, like scale it, kind of like you could scale a house in Decentraland.
well, I guess you could like if you decided to scale like an arena. So
Hmm.
like they
Yeah,
would like while they're by your side, they would be like at waist level. When once they enter battle, they might be like
that's
ginormous or
true.
like
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
so yeah, like yeah, have that in consideration. Also, it's like you know once these things are in battle, depending on what like the meta owner or arena owner does, like they could be either they could be scaled to whatever size they want. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, because the battle animations are going to be overemphasized, right? So you're not going to swing your little arm. There's going to be a giant axe, like
well,
manifested.
but that's for the special attack, right? Not necessarily
True.
every attack's going to be over
Oh, I
animated.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, could they be bigger in the Roviverse? That's a good question, man.
Yeah, that's the challenge of creating a metaverse is like scaling things and then like putting limits to stuff so that I don't know things are reasonable. Yeah, dude, come on. How do you not want this guy?
Yeah, I'll let Oscar answer that one. Because I mean, right now they exist in like the current version of the Rovi matrix that we have, and like that's the thing. There's nothing to really compare them to. It's like only thing there are Rovies, so they don't feel too big or small. They feel just right, when you're roaming around in your Rovi in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to compare it to, unless
Yeah.
we bring in some other game or some other experience within the Rovi matrix like that. Now there's like something to compare it side by side with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, for some reason I was reminded with the whole MetaZone review process that we have going on right now. So there's been a lot of questions on when metas are going to be reviewed and actually deployed to the marketplace. So just an update on that. We've restarted the review process recently, and so if you're waiting on a review, make sure you DM Oscar so that he can put that on the top of the list. But all the reviews are in progress for the most part, and so eventually they'll get to the marketplace. And what we want to do is we want to highlight all these new submissions in kind of like this automated marketing that we have going on with the drop calendar. So I don't know why that just reminded me something kind of important to bring up, but that's why we wanted to do a MetaZone community call. So that way we can bring these updates, because right now we kind of have like a merging of the two worlds, I suppose.
True. No, we're definitely gonna have to do that for sure. Yeah, because it's gonna get too damn muddy in here if we can continually merge everything into one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to keep this Rovi focused. We want everybody in this call to be aligned with our thinking. Right? We're trying to think about the ideal future for the Roviverse and stuff like that. And once we cross over into talking about other verses, and then we kind of get distracted a little bit.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so jumping back onto Rovi. So next week we're gonna have same call, same time, same place, and we're gonna have a lot of updates on the testing that will be going on here in the next few days. I don't think there's going to be a drop of a meta next week. I think we need some time to test this hologram meta, but pretty soon after that, I think the next meta is the assimilator, and then towards the end, it's going to be the PvE and PvP meta. So the complexity starts to increase from here on out in terms of the metas.
Yeah, all you oracles, you're going to get all 7 metas, but I think the only one that will be pending as far as functionality will probably be the replicator, right? The final meta. When is the right time from an economic perspective to enable replication, right? You could deploy it, but it probably won't be a functional aspect of the ecosystem until the economy is ready for it, right? We've been having a lot of discussions about this, because we've been observing, right? And this is why we kind of some of you guys might think we move slow. Some of you guys think we might move fast, or whatever. But the thing is, we don't want to make critical mistakes. So it's to everyone's benefit to be observers for a while to kind of learn from the mistakes of others who might be a little more gung-ho about their initiatives. And we get to observe the mistakes other people make. So we've been looking at a bunch of different play-to-earn ecosystems and how their economies operate. And man, every single one has problems. Nobody's figured it out.
But you know what? Nobody's figured out in the real world anyways, right? We've had hundreds of years of economies, and many of them have toppled over, and we're going to see some new ones toppling over eventually here pretty soon.
Yeah, but the replicator is such a sensitive one in the sense because it puts so much control of economic expansion in the hands of the community, which is fine. It's what we want to happen, right? But we just need to make sure it's at the right time, I think, because we've seen other examples where the timing wasn't right and then it just gets out of control. And then, house of cards type thing happens, you know? So we don't want to see that happen. We want this ecosystem to be thriving and, stable for the long run, so, but having said all that, once the replicator's out and in the hands of everybody, then we'll have these like deeper discussions, like economic talks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even before then, we should already have like at least be in the testing phase of like pretty much the whole ecosystem, the whole play to earn, the stuff we talked about like a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Gears token should be earnable at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So we should have a pretty good picture of like how this ecosystem can grow from here on out at that stage.
Yeah, so Oscar just made an announcement. He said the Rovi holograms have been delivered. NFT minting for hologram will come soon.
Ooh.
All right, so go ahead and check your MetaZone account. You should see the hologram meta there. And then, and those of you who have been in the whitelist for testers, we're going to be hitting you up in that chat there, and then we can start testing this thing out. So the NFTs are coming soon here.
All right, dude, another clap button, dude.
There we go, dude. And Oscar's been putting some work. He's been definitely putting his head down on the latest updates, especially with the whole MetaZone platform and then the Rovies. Like,
yeah, the MetaZone stuff's almost completed. Like, there's, well, I don't want to say completed, but almost in like a complete enough state to where it becomes much more like self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
A lot less like development intervention needed. You know what I mean? So yeah. We're almost there, guys.
Yeah.
On the platform side.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wanted to talk about that too, with the whole MetaMarks, the split payments, all that. Pretty much a lot of this stuff is going to be completely automated. I think from an architecture standpoint, the only thing that's going to be manual is reviewing metas. And then even that, we can have the community contribute to that too for I guess, resources of one kind or another. So yeah, there's that will remain probably the only manual thing, but everything else like paying people and all that's going to be automated.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, Patrick, congrats, dude. He said he got mine. I see it. Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, you guys check your MetaZone assets page. You should see your hologram if you are an Oracle. Congrats, lads.
Yeah, I mean, another thing, we do a ton of research, and we're always looking at play-to-earn economies and all that, and I don't think we've seen all of them, but a distributed version, kind of like the one that Ethermon is doing, the one Rovi's doing, that has to be like one of the more difficult things to balance by far. And especially what you were talking about with the replicator, that's the single most complicated thing to kind of maintain. Because we don't want people to oversupply the market, but we also don't want to undersupply it either. So there has to be some sort of algorithm or something, some sort of achievement that people have to make in order to unlock additional potential Rovies. So that's something we're always thinking about. So just something for you guys to kind of think about as well, just to kind of understand the difficulties in making a sustainable kind of ecosystem.
Yeah, and like I said, once we get closer to the release of that replicator, like we'll talk much more deeply about this, like the economic implications of it. But again, like we'll have a lot more puzzles to move around at the time, because we should have like a decent enough foundation, seeing how like the game ecosystem is functioning by then, But then at that point, it's not necessarily like replication probably won't come until like the first generation of Rovies are sold out, right? Like the first 10,000, most likely, because then the replication process actually has value in it, because there's no other way to get a Rovi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there has to be enough demand within the ecosystem for more Rovies, right? Otherwise, you're kind of like replicating to a dead audience.
That's right. I mean? That's right.
So all these things need to be considered, and it's up to us as a community, as a project, as to set that demand and that foundation for, all of this to be understood. Right. And we have a lot going for us, and like exactly how we started the call, Avagachi's on the same page. They're building their play to earn ecosystem. Bored Apes on the same page. They're building their play to earn ecosystem. So the demand is coming without a doubt. Right. So it's just, we got to do our part and like supply with the ecosystem, so we're on the right train, fellas. We just got to get there. That's all.
So, all right. It's okay. So Oscar says you can't delegate until it's on chain. So hologram NFTs will be available later today. Then you can deploy to your land. And then Green Shifter asks, will the Rovi show up then? And Oscar said, not yet, but sometime before next community call, the notification will be sent out to Rovi testers. There we are. So yeah, pretty soon you'll be able to see your Rovis in land, dude. The time has come, man. This has been kind of the most important piece to the whole puzzle, is being able to see this unique Rovi and then interact with it. So I guess in due time we'll see. All right. The hype train. Okay, let's see. I think we covered almost all of the agenda items here.
I think so. I can't recall any other ones. We need the Rovi testers wearable. So yeah, I guess wearable.
Oh
update.
yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Okay. So if you guys recall that we had like this overglow on the the wearable last week. So we told our 3D modeler to calm it down a little bit, and this is the result. So let us know what your feedback is. Hopefully this is kind of clear enough for you guys to see. It's a little pixelated, but you get the idea. Yeah, you can't see that. Actually, let me post it. I'm in the chat. Right, here it is. All right, check it out, guys.
Oh yeah. So this is after feedback of less illumination, right?
Yeah. After
Looks better.
after we saw this one with less illumination, the one with a lot of illumination is sort of attractive. But yeah, this is just to bypass like Decentraland's like limitations. But yeah, I think it looks good. I don't think you want everything to be like overglow on everything.
Yeah, most importantly, the thing that matters most is the little freaking Rovi hanging out on your pack.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, because the purpose behind this is to differentiate our community from the rest of the Decentraland community. Like, you are a Rovi operator if you're equipping this pack.
That's right.
So that's the most distinguishable trait for this thing, and I think we pulled it off. I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much ready for mass production at this point. So somebody asked, what's the process going to be? Like, it's just going to be an airdrop across the board, right?
Yeah, if you have a Rovi, you're going to get one of these. And then there's going to be another wearable for Rovi testers. And then I think there's going to be a couple more, but the final one would be, I think the final one will be a wearable for, so this wearable will go out to everyone who has a Rovi like right now. And then there's going to be another wearable for when we release like the 10,000 Rovi. Then there'll be a wearable for them. So
I see.
So yeah, there's kind of like tiers to this.
Okay.
All right. So I think I should just change the white to a different color. Keep the glow. Okay.
The earpiece white or what?
Yeah, change the white to a different color. So that's the thing, is like it's yellow or blue or green.
Should we tell them to remove the glow entirely?
Nah,
I
like the glow, dude.
People don't like glow, or maybe just like a lesser glow.
Yeah. Man, if I remember correctly, I haven't tested this in a while just because I just keep forgetting. But I feel like you can control the glow, like on the settings within Decentraland. I feel like you can, but someone correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay, so Christopher says glow is good. Gold and glow would look great too. Like a yellow glow. Yeah, that's true. Wearables for Oracle. There we go. That's what I was missing, Maximus. There's going to be a wearable for Oracles for sure. Okay. Yeah, we need to start hammering what they're gonna look like. Man, that's the challenge, man. I challenge you to be creative, man. That's what we're talking about here.
All right, I'm gonna pass down this challenge to Dahlia if she's here now. Dahlia, are you still here?
Uh,
Hopefully she is, dude.
yeah, we need some creativity juices.
She's the
Usually,
artist, dude. Shit.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Uh,
usually I'm pretty creative, but man, I'm definitely stumped on this one.
okay. Yeah, class in the chat for Dahlia, dude.
Yeah,
She can't.
we need some like creative wearables, man. Like you just run around Decentraland. Man, there's so many good submissions out there. It's crazy.
Totally. Totally. Okay, so do we have a giveaway today? It's 5:54.
Oh damn, dude, I totally forgot. Yes, we do. All right, guys, just hang in
You
there.
made half a donut on Blender, dude. You got further than I did, dude. Actually, you know what? That's not true, dude. I made that fucking ghost. If you log into Decentraland, like Origin 00, and you see that Pac-Man ghost, dude, like
Yeah,
it's on the board. I made that, dude. I'm proud of that little Pac-Man. But yeah, that's as far as my 3D chops go, dude.
yeah.
I don't know how I ended up with that, but it was just like it's like messing around, like with 3D clay, and like that looks close enough. But yeah,
No, that was
turned out
great, dude. I mean, we all got together to build out a ghost, and you ended up winning.
that's wild.
Yeah,
But if
man.
you look under the goats, like if you look under the skirt, dude, it's like a mess down there. But luckily you can't do that. So just so you know, a little what's the word?
Uh,
I don't fucking know.
Inconsistency,
Just a little
deformity.
pro tip. Yeah, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, let's get to the giveaway.
All right. How long should we do this? I would say let's put 4 minutes. All right. There's gonna be 3. It's almost about to pop. All right. Should launch. All right.
What?
Yep.
What'd you do? You set like a 5-minute timer or something?
4 minute.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, you know the drill, guys. Go to the giveaway channel if you want to qualify for a Rovi accessory NFT.
Yeah.
Accessories are cool, man, because it's just more added utility to the game in the future. So,
Yeah.
and if you guys have been following the GG ecosystem, they have their own accessories now. And yeah, we were speculating whether or not their accessories needed utility or not, but
Yeah.
we were right. They did, and now they're adding this utility to their accessories, just like we are. So it's very cool. It's good to see all these neighboring ecosystems kind of again reconfirming our own assumptions.
Our
like
thesis. Yeah.
They're creating their own secondary marketplace for their accessory market. We're in the process of doing that as well. So it's going to be interesting, man. The future of the metaverse, like once all these like markets are like mature and like realized and like super active, there's just so much trading activity, man. It's going to be like the next stock market.
I think so too. Yeah.
Huh?
I think so too. You're right.
Yeah, it's going to be the next version of the commodities market. Like people on Wall Street are over there trading like soybeans and fucking oil and gas and shit like that.
Yeah.
We're going to be trading motherfucking metal hedrons and ice poker accessories and stuff like that. Like it's going to be the next, probably bigger than what Wall Street is today. Just give it like 20 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when we first heard the numbers from like Grayscale and like all these big names predicting how much the metaverse is going to generate here in the next couple of years, like trillions of dollars, I was surprised. But when you really think about it, when people are trading like soybeans, like you're saying,
there's like a legit ginormous market for these things. I mean, because they're essential commodities for physical life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But our digital life is going to either mirror or outcompete our physical one at some point, right?
I feel like it's going to be much bigger just because anything digital is always 10 times bigger than like the analog component.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that means our markets will be 10 times bigger. So yeah, dude, we're going to poop all over Wall Street at some point.
Dude, you know what? We need to get back to that podcast, dude. Like we need to have these conversations more often, man, because
agreed.
It forces us to stay, up to date with everything that's going on. And I mean, a lot of our predictions have been true. Like they've been coming true. So
yeah. So the good news is we finally got like a upgraded conference table. So we got that. The next step is upgrading our podcast setup.
Yeah,
and then so we could be a little more consistent with it.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, we took some pictures. I don't know if we're gonna share them. I mean, they look like we're still in the ISIS like cave.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. But we're making progress, dude. Like I think in the next couple of months, you guys will be surprised with the progress.
yeah,
Hopefully, yeah, we're improving everything. Like not just yeah, adding more hands on board is a priority. Improving the equips just to like improve like efficiency
mm-hmm.
across the board. All these things, right? Like there's a lot to it, man. Like growing these projects from the inside out. So yeah. But
Yeah,
once
man.
we're more efficient and we're more established in our foundations, then yeah, all of us as a community will grow a lot quicker.
Yep, totally agree. All right, so we got about a minute left. The
Well, Super
giveaway.
Tyler has a good question, real quick.
Where is it? Okay. Any news on being able to select items instead of having to scroll through via the remote? Yeah, that's one thing that I brought up in yesterday's kind of like roundtable
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, and it aligns with our improve efficiency conversations we're always having. Like
Yeah.
this is very inefficient.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrific. So yeah, I wish I could give you a timeline on that, Super Tyler. I think it's like pretty important. But I don't know if it ranks high in like, in the context of things, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, we'll definitely fix that as soon as we can. That's for sure. Oh shit, somebody won. All right, let's see. Who was it? We got, what is that? What does that say? Janie Sun, Alan Howick, and Wave Crypto Chain. All right, congratulations.
Nice.
Guys are getting a Rovi Accessory NFT. Congratulations, you guys. All right, so make sure you DM me your ETH address, and I'll get these issued to you guys today. Okay, so that covers everything we wanted to talk about today. That's been the Rovi community call number 27 or 28.
Yeah, so I guess was there like a Google Doc you said you wanted to
No, that was for the
right?
POAP, yeah.
Okay, so we don't need any Google Doc like activity.
Yeah.
We just need you guys honed in on the announcements and on the if you are a tester in the testers channel over the next leading up until next week, because yeah, we'll be doing a lot of testing of the hologram, and we greatly appreciate you guys participating. It's a big deal to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And always, man, you guys spend 1 hour with us every single week. We really appreciate it. These time is the most rare NFT that we have, and we can't overstate how much we appreciate that. So thank you guys for coming every single week. We will see you next week, and we'll come back with some hologram updates, and hopefully we'll be able to see some Rovies in world. But until then, we will catch you next week.
Peace out. Later. Bye.